Good morning, lover.
We're going to listen to a little Carol of the Bells. I think we might listen to that until Christmas. It's Quinn's only Christmas piece, and I said last week, it's my favorite piece of his. It's so charming. Do you love it?
Yes, it's...
Do I put you on the spot?
No, I do like that one, actually. He sped it up, didn't he?
Well, it's in a different count.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
I am musically talentless in case no one's worked that one out.
Good
yet.
morning. Let's see. Happy Monday. Oh, the Monday after Thanksgiving. In a normal time, this is when the rush would set in and people would be frantic. I think one of the beautiful things about COVID, if you're not a frontline worker, is that actually things have slowed way down, and you could use this opportunity this season to stop doing some things that you've always done because you've just always done them. I mean, don't you feel like COVID has given you the opportunity to say no to some things that you didn't know how to say no to before?
Yeah, kind of.
You have a less socially obligated world than certainly
Yes.
than I do.
Yes, I do.
And so I'll just speak for myself. I have stepped back and away from all kinds of things which I thought, well, I have to do this. Guess what? I don't have to do it. And everything's been fine. The Arts Partnership has been fine. Our family has been fine. Everything's been fine. In fact, in some cases, it's been better.
Mm.
So I guess the point of this is, as a conversation around Moderation Monday, what can you moderate about the holidays? Because most people get to January 2nd and feel like, where did those 5 weeks go? I just don't think it has to be that way. I think it could actually be a slow down time, a time to invest inside your family, inside the people who really matter to you. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we certainly should not be gathering with anyone. So the obligatory holiday parties are not going to happen this year. So you have an opportunity to really look inside versus out, or to decide, gosh, maybe we don't need 75 presents for every person who's coming to spend Christmas with us. Maybe instead we do something like, as a family, we put all that money and energy into people who need it. There's a crazy thought. You and I aren't doing presents for each other this year because what in the heck do you and I need that we can buy during COVID? Nothing.
No.
Nothing. So a lot of that money is going to go to other places where the need is terrific. So I hope that you will consider that as well. I think that's a fabulous, fabulous way to moderate what is often an out of control season. So we're actually talking today about working from home.
And how the link between that and Moderation Monday is having to do this right, and for your own self-worth and, well, not
Sanity.
Self-health.
Yes.
There are some steps that Dana recently found, as in this morning, because we were trying to decide how best to do this, and lo and behold, you found a good roadmap to follow here.
Some tips. So this is 20 tips for working from home. We're not going to go through all 20 of them because I don't think they all apply to figuring out how to moderate this. But one of the things that, of course, is the good and the bad of all the technology that we have access to is that we're never really not working. We're always working because we can check email on our phones, because we can, I mean, think what we can do from our phones. I've done more work in England on my cell phone than I have done some days sitting in my office at the Arts Partnership.
Yeah, I remember you did this fantastic feat we were at a conference I was going to we were in Honolulu, and Dana managed to write an article on her phone.
About a performing arts center.
On her phone.
Yes,
in Hawaii.
I did. Yes. You know, that's silly. I mean, it was a good article, but it's still kind of silly. But I think that let's talk through some of these tips and see if you don't agree with us. Number 1, maintain regular hours.
Yeah.
Now, regular hours is a weird thing. I was just talking with my friend Ellen about this week. With us all working from home, why do we have to maintain regular hours? If you're a night owl, why can't you work from 4 to midnight? I'm a morning person. My best time is absolutely between about 5:30 and 10:30 in the morning. If I really want to be industrious about the Arts Partnership or Extraordinary or whatever it is I'm working on, that's my best time to work. By 3 p.m., I'm kind of done. I don't have much to contribute at that point. So rather than maintain regular hours, I would say maintain consistent hours. And make sure that the hours you are maintaining work inside everybody else's schedule. So, you know, if you are a 4 p.m. to midnight worker, but everybody else wants to have 10 a.m. meetings, then you have to reconcile that. But I think this idea of pick your 8 hours, or however many hours you need to work, and work them. And then give the other 16 plus hours to other things. I would argue give 8 of them to sleep. But again, that's because I need a ton of sleep. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I will.
Good.
For you to finish. I did this, well, not just MSUM, but everyone has gone, this last week and a half of classes are now online. I knew this was coming, as we all did, and I planned accordingly. So this week, I've already sent out their assignments to finish off the semester, which will take them the exact time they would in the 2 last class sessions they have this week, and they've got till Monday to do it. I've already had 2 people ask me if they could have it all in one go, because I'm giving half of it out later on this week. I said, no, this is what you need to do for Tuesday, and if you have a class on Thursday, this is what you're going to do on Thursday. Because it's keeping it regular. I said, yeah, the exam's going to be when the exam's supposed to be. So this is going to keep you regular and help you maintain everything. I know I can't speak for their other classes, but I'm keeping mine the way it should have been on the syllabus and on the timetable.
Mine is too, interestingly. The chair of the department I'm teaching in this semester told me I could go asynchronous, which meant everybody just turned stuff in by a deadline, and I decided to keep our scheduled class periods. Well, we have guest speakers coming in, so it was important that I do that. But I think there is value in having a regular schedule. I have done that. I mean, we've been home with the Arts Partnership since March 17th. Yeah. And I largely work my regular kind of 9 to 5 shift. Now, what I will say, and we're going to, you are much worse at this than I am, is I then, sometimes work in the morning, I sometimes work in the evening, I often work on the weekends. I know my staff does the same. I really work hard to not do that, and I really encourage my staff to not do it, despite the fact that they don't really listen to me. That's not coming from me. This is not a top-down mandate that you must be available 60 hours a week. I don't pay them for 60 hours a week. And quite frankly, while the arts sector is a big, fluid, important sector, it's not a 60-hour-a-week sector that we need to be tied to. Again, we're not frontline workers at the Arts Partnership. We're doing important work. But, it's all about keeping things in perspective. So regular hours is an important one. However you define that, consistent hours. Create a morning routine. I really like this. One of the things that Daily Dose has done is it's forced a routine on us.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to have some, not always, but mostly I got to have some mascara on.
Yeah, we got to get in and out the shower. And if we, if we do our morning exercises at Spin, we've got to get home quick, jump in the shower. There's no messing about.
Yeah, and that's been good. This is done, and then I know that my kind of side gig work is done for the morning, and now it's time to move to the Arts Partnership. And I think the same is true for you with this, and then moving on to MSUM.
Yeah, it gives you something to accomplish and then move on. In fact, you know, it's it's something I learned how to do when I was learning how to live with being sober. You create a task, you do it, you move on, you've accomplished something.
Absolutely. Schedule breaks. I think this is really important, and I'm not very good at this. Do you feel like you are?
I am better, but as it used to say in my report cards when I was a kid, you room for improvement.
Mine used to say talks too much. Imagine that. Schedule breaks. And then the fifth one is take the break in its entirety. So I think we take a ton of breaks because we trot upstairs to put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, and then trot back
We
downstairs.
also have a
to
dog,
work.
so the dog needs
Yes.
to go for
But I don't think I ever take a full 15-minute break or a full half-hour break. And that's not really the kind of work that I do. It's not like I'm standing in a grocery store checking out groceries like I used to in high school. That was a actual scheduled break. But I think there's something really smart about set a time and take a break. Step away. Go stand outside. Go read a magazine article. Go do a downward dog. Go do whatever you want to do, but get away from your desk for a real period of time.
This is actually incredibly important. I just read a news article, and it was on the local news this morning about people are worried about that in our area anyway. The high school teachers are getting burnt out because they just had a huge extra amount of work stuck
All
on.
K-12 teachers, yeah.
And if they don't have the time to just have 15 or 20 minutes just for themselves, they are going to end up being worn out. So it's incredibly important for your not just your mental health, but your physical health
Physical
too.
health. Yeah, boy, if you never have taught in a K-12 environment, you have no idea how brutal that schedule is. Those 10 weeks I student taught were like I was in a constant reality show gauntlet. I mean, there's just, man, that is a rigorous schedule. College professors, you have no idea.
I would say that, and a long time ago, I did the go to school instead of your sixth grader.
Oh my God.
So I lost two things happened. One, I lost Quinn his only point in math he's ever lost.
Well, in sixth grade.
In sixth grade, and probably ever since then.
No, that's not true.
And I actually said to one of the teachers at about 10:30, so when's coffee?
When are we having a tea break?
I had a
so
more
English
profound
of you.
respect for Quinn Dalvell in the sixth grade when I came home that day going, geez, no wonder you're tired.
Yeah, absolutely. The last big tip that we're going to talk about today is keep a dedicated office space, which for some people is a lot easier to say than do because you don't have extra space. We happen to have a lot of extra space. And I worked from home when I first bought this house. I was a freelance writer. So when I bought this house, it came with a desk that we can't get upstairs. So clearly the previous people also, it came with the house when they bought
'cause
it.
it weighs more than the house.
Well, and it's too big to go up the stairs. So I don't know if the house was built around this desk or what. It doesn't matter. But I worked at this desk. We've repositioned it since. We did that about 2 years ago. And now I actually have an amazing desk space, which we're going to show you. Can you back up just for a second?
Don't
Step on the pup.
Yeah, I don't want to put the chair on the dog. It might wake her up.
This is my office space. Oh, that's pretty uneventful. You can see, it's actually a great desk. And I've got a standing desk on it, which I brought from my office, and I've got my personal computer, and I really have everything I need, including a little heater, because it's pretty chilly-willy down here. Dr. Mary, however, works in front of the television on a little table. That is a problem.
But if next semester goes completely online, we have that table there. I'm going to buy a monitor. and get a keyboard. I think I've got a keyboard, but I'm going to have that as a desk space if we're not going to work at all. This semester, I actually had 4 of the 5 classes I taught were face to face.
Yeah, you were actually in the office.
So I actually was at work 4 days a week. Mm-hmm. So that was fine because I was in the office and then I taught and then it was all completely safe. There was only social distances, half the lab Tuesday and Thursday. So I felt completely safe. They were completely safe. But if I have to work at home, we're definitely going to set me up a little space over there because
it's important to step away, to be able to shut the door. So we can't exactly shut the door, but this is a space of the basement that really only gets used for my working. So to wrap this up, the last tip that I think is really useful is the idea of end your day. And this is I think the hardest thing for all of us.
I am terrible at this.
Yeah. Whenever your time is done, just shut the screen, and more importantly, stop using your cell phone as your computer. That's where I fail. So if I'm sitting and we're watching The Crown or whatever we're watching, and Maz goes upstairs to put the kettle on, what's the first thing I do? I check my email. Might be 9 o'clock at night. I don't know why I do it, but I'm really going to commit to stopping doing it, because here's the point, and here's the relation to addiction. There is an addiction quality to, I wonder if anyone emailed me. I wonder if anyone checked in on Facebook. I wonder if anyone this, that, or the other. Let it go. Let it go. For all of us our age and older, we all remember life before having 24-hour-a-day access to things. So we could go back to that a little bit, and we would have a much better work-life moderation, which is the point of today. So, sorry, we went a little bit long. I'm going to finish up with a little more music, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.